I have returned once again today to actually deliver the penultimate episode of this part of this part. So this is the penultimate episode of the part Netflix actually has released of part 6. Not the penultimate episode of the whole entire thing overall. It's just the end of the first part that's been released of the episodes. So yes, today I shall cover episode 11 of JoJo Part 6 Stone Ocean, as when episode 10 was the introduction of all my husbands. Pretty much. I mean, both of them got introduced in the episodes. Like, holy shit, there they are. One of them only got one single like screen time, but I was like, I'll take it right now. It's fine. I love him dearly. I can't wait for him to actually come back. But yes, Weather Report's actually been introduced completely, and the boy is so adorable. I can't get past how cute he actually is. Like, doesn't sit in the chair, sits in the piano. They're like, just like, he's like, yo, we got a piano here. I can sit in that. I'm like, you know what? Why the fuck not? Why not, bro? Go and sit in the piano. I accept that. And I'm actually hitting the arc with, well, the arc. We're not hitting the actual scenes with the Operation Savage Garden, but actually the arc itself. And yeah, Jumping Jack Flash actually is quite interesting as a stand user, I must admit. Like the idea of like gravity itself being kind of played into the whole entire thing. It's quite novel. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens then. Actually, how it does in theory wrap up in a way, because this is kind of getting to the tail end of the first part of it. And yeah, I can't wait. Also read the press of the series. Hello, how's it going? How you doing? Sad the series will end for a little while and actually come back later on. I actually have zero idea what they're actually doing still. It's the only issue I kind of find with JoJo right now is I don't know what they're actually doing with this from now on. So, watching episode 11. It has actually been announced what Netflix is actually doing with in regards to episodes 12 to 24, I guess. Because I know the broadcast comes out in January. Then the broadcast carries on, and then we just watch it weekly after that point. I have no idea. I guess we'll see. Anywho, it starts this thing in 3, 2, 1. It starts this thing absolutely now. Also, put subtitles back on. I have to get thumbnails about the subtitles on them, so I forget to put them back on. Savage Garden's actually a pretty good band as well, to be honest. Definitely Maybe is a good song, and so is From the Moon to the Moon and Back, if I remember correctly, is the song's title. I appreciate how this arc is literally just Sugimoto versus Basili. I like that. Oh, and I guess also I Need You, which was the ending to part 4 as well. That was a good song by them as well. Yeah, other than that, there's a load of other good Savage Garden songs. It's one of my favourite arcs. It's one of my favourite arcs. It's one of my favourite bands. Well, it's a duo technically. It's a Tin Cans band? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah. Episode itself was really good though. I do actually really like this arc, because it does add more intrigue to Emporio's character as well, because Emporio is a mysterious person in this whole entire like place of very mysterious people, because he can just like traverse like the entire like well, most of the entirety of the prison, but you actually don't know how he does it. Like, it's just one of those things that being like he randomly appears. It might 1 minute be in a wall, next minute it might be in a dumpster. You just don't know how he gets there, but actually now you do. And I was like, that's kind of cool. So I like how the show does in theory give us information. It gives us information in such a way that it feels like it's actually as if the characters are learning it as we're learning it. So it's not too fast or too slow. It's actually the right sense of pace, because Jolene's learning about all these things as we're learning about them. So in doing so, it's actually quite cool because of that reason. Granted, it's still one of those things whether or not the show will continue like that, but thus far, it's actually doing a really good job of it. I know JoJo will never fail in that way, but it's one of those things I'm not saying anything for later on into the series, but I'm just saying for now, it's actually really good. I'm playing it like I'm an anime only at the moment. You know, I've read the manga. But all of it. Hello! Thanks for actually being here as well, thank you. Also, I caught Poochie's actual I don't know why I just then made the C for Poochie's name instead of the P. I have no idea. My brain is stopping. Anyway, As I was trying to say, I caught Poochie's actual dub as well. It's actually really good. He's actually got a good dub voice actor as well. I know the voice actor himself because he's a YouTuber, but he's actually doing an amazing job. I can't speak. He do be hot though. So bruh, it's out of sync by 1 minute. Oh shit. So he's gonna run down and be like, bruh, nah, can't do that. I wish I could speak well, but apparently I can't. Impossible. I can't formate sentences anymore. Jojo has taken it out of me. I was trying to say the TLDR of my sentence before I literally fucked up the entire sentence itself was, by the way, the voice actor for the dub of Poochie is actually great. It's actually kind of cool seeing YouTube's actually becoming voice actors as well, to be honest. I love him so much. His voice is so good. I was gonna say, I swear to God, if I remember correctly, this whole entire arc also deals with the fact that Jolene has to go to pee. That's one of the massive things about this whole entire arc. Because I was trying to remember what this arc was actually about, besides the gravity. I was like, doesn't Jolene need to piss in this arc? Or something. Yeah, what happens if you pee in anti-gravity? Does it just go upwards? Well, there's your answer. See, you got signs while also talking about piss. Eddie and Jojo. He's hot and scientific. Good lord. I think Jolene's probably lost half of her whole entire blood supply just then. How I won't ask questions. I always wondered in JoJo how people survive with like having half their blood count just removed instantly. Because they're pretty much fine. They're like, oh yeah, I've just lost half of it. I don't fucking care. It's like they've got infinite supply of it that we just don't know about. Or they're built so differently, blood just isn't needed. Let's not forget this whole entire author does the idea she has to go for a piss. So that's the problem here, not losing it. That's not an issue. He is surprisingly scientific though. Surprisingly, this boy's like, this boy should work for NASA. I hear Sugimoto now as well. That's the problem. I actually do hear him. Yeah, because he just creates like a sense of like I don't know what it's called. Yeah, like a pocket of air. That's the one I was trying to find. You do have the swag though. You do be having the swag though. You know, his whole entire like stand can actually make fucking suits. So yeah, you could do that as well. It's like, sir, that's really useful. I'm still shocked she's actually able to move, considering she lost like a pint of blood in that whole entire thing, probably even more. They'll actually lose more blood in the fucking Mortal Kombat character. They'll die exactly the same way that one girl dies in Jason X. This is actually still quite a it's like a small outer space, really. I do agree. It's like just being in outer space, but like a tiny version of it. See, he actually could, in theory, start his own business by actually like creating small vacuums of outer space in like small areas. I do actually kind of like that Part 6 actually is also like around keeping a bit more scientific as well. Don't get me wrong, a lot of it does actually kind of lead back to the idea of just punching the ever-living shit at the person, but at the same time, the prior bits are like, here's a load of science. That's the cool thing. She actually has the intuition of Jotaro, while also having the idea of just punching a living shit out of a person as well, just to kind of get the answer as well. You like to say she is pretty much the daughter of Jotaro, like completely. Breach! Breach! It's the episode Always Sunny. I must admit, Weather Report do be having those cheeks though. He do be having cheeks though. This man just throwing nails at a person. Screws. Johnny's like, I will hit away all the nails. Weather Report, I float. He's unstoppable. He's unstoppable. He's on it. Oh man, I want Sugimoto in more JoJo animes, to be honest. His voice is so smooth. Whoever reports voice is the perfectly toast with perfectly spread butter as well. The good shit. Sometimes they're still just spinning around. Now Jolene's got a plan. Jolene's just got like 10 plans already thought out before the whole entire fight begins. She does. Honestly, she does. He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. She actually does make some really damn good decisions, like no time. It's very powerful. Rats. The one true enemy of all Joestars. Let's be real, it's the one true enemy of all Joestars. So in all fairness, Jumping Jack Flash actually could start a business about being an astronaut, and then also be a really good carpenter as well. Carpenter, or is it a builder? No, builder. Sorry. That's what they always say. That's what they always say. Do you find it interesting they do randomly cut the CG sometimes, though? It's a surprise, bitch. I'm telling you, she's like, you have to like be on 7-head mode to actually be able to defeat Jolene. Impossible. She's so cool. She applied science to actually take out a Stan user. I think his head will probably explode as well, wouldn't it? Lack of oxygen and everything. Oh. Very interesting number. Interesting number. There's going to be some caveat involved. Let's see Sugimoto if he actually lost his mind a little bit more than he did in season 2. Okay, but then there's going to be some kind of plan though, isn't there? Gotta say, he's brought Lang Wrangler, that's what his name is, if I remember correctly, to life really damn well. I thought she's kind of like, bruh. Whatever report being a good boy, though. Whatever report being the best boy, though. Don't worry. There's gonna be some kind of caveat involved here, but I was gonna do that anyway because my husband be a good boy. She's so fucking cool. She's so fucking cool. I love her. I love her so much. There's no way in hell you can't say Jolene's like the best JoJo, considering she's just so fucking cool. He got fired straight into the hampers as well. Even better. Be really hell unfortunate if one very fast boy gets down there first. Is Jumping Jack Flash the album by Rolling Stones, if I remember correctly? So I said it last time? I can't remember now. They are. They're the coolest, actually. It's like, Jolene, I might have lost like 75% of my blood. Be real unfortunate some dude actually gets there first though. Some very swaggy dude. He's so hot. She says he's severely wounded. He's doing pretty okay. I'm damn sure if he lost like an arm or a leg, he'd be like, pfft. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh shit. No, it's the father himself. Some might also say God himself. Who knows? So wait a minute, it's not meant to happen this fast. Wait a minute, it's episode 11. He's a man of the law, but he still takes people out. It's like that meme of, I may be a healer, but that's essentially Poochie's entire character. I just realised that's essentially Poochie's actual entire character arc. I may be a healer, but Father of the Lord, but we'll still take someone out if he needs to. Or multiple, who knows. But yeah, I mean, great episode overall. I mean, it was very scientific in the way it approached the entire thing with gravity and oxygen and stuff like that. It really did play out like as if they were in space. If you wanted Jojo in space, you kind of got it, considering that it was literally in this episode. So, theoretically speaking, if you want to get technical about it, Jojo got the space before Fast and Furious did. So there you go. It took 9 movies for Jojo. It took 9 movies for Fast and Furious to get to space. It took 6 parts for Jojo to do it. Even though space technically isn't in space, it's though technically didn't Cars go to space as well at one point? So it already got then 2 parts. But in this context, it actually was kind of like space. It's kind of very cool, which actually also then actually can in theory utilize the pun of Savage Garden's actual entire like song title, because it literally is To the Moon and Back. I can actually finally use it, just realized that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it was yeah, I like that. Again, also the actual way they're fighting as well isn't like typical of JoJo as well, because at 10 times, like, not in, I would say, part 4 and 5, much less in that part, because in 4 and 5 they kind of took on a more like, I'd say, higher meaning, I guess, to an extent, the idea of like the fights. But at the same time, what this part does do quite well is it kind of utilizes the idea that the fights themselves aren't like roadblocks in a way. They're actually there for a reason. They're fighting for a pseudo reason, I guess. And I kind of like that as well. It's one of those things that it's not just a fight because, well, their stand users are in the same vicinity as each other, might as well just beat the shit out of each other. No, it's a little bit more than that. And I kind of respect that, because in that way it allows the actual fights to kind of be a bit more engaging. Because out of 10 times, when you kind of get to a point in JoJo, well, I mean, in part 3 it kind of happened a little bit. The idea that there was so many of them to the point you're kind of like, God damn, I get it. There's stand users are everywhere. They fight each other. I get it. But as parts went on, it sort of started to feel less like that. Fights became a bit more engaging because Araki got his footing. I think part 6 is actually probably like the epitome, like, is it epitome is the correct term? The epitome of when those fights start to actually kind of come a lot more better in that way, even more so than beforehand, because part 4 and 5 had amazing fights. Part 6 is just full of them. I mean, so far, I mean, the fights themselves have just been so engaging that you kind of like, fuck yeah, why not? Let's fight in space, practically. I'm all for it. It's kind of cool, because again, it's one of those things that this is like 500 and something chapters into JoJo itself, if I remember, or 600, something like that. By that point, you'd be like, fuck it, hell, stand users are everywhere. Who else isn't a stand user in this fucking universe at this point? But for some reason, Araki actually manages to actually make everything so engaging. I kind of feel like this episode's point and case of that whole entire idea perfectly exemplified. Like the use of science, the use of like, if you kind of know a little bit about space as well, it's so goddamn cool, because it's one of those things that it literally is as if they were fighting in outer space but actually were in a small vacuum instead. It was kind of cool because you don't see that too often. You don't see fights kind of taking a more scientific approach, because 9 out of 10 times it's beating the shit out of each other. That's what we come for. We come to see people beat the shit out of each other. But now you can't like, wait a minute, I want to learn why those people are beating the shit out of each other, and actually subsequently also might die in the process. And you get that, and that's cool. And that's why I like part 6 so goddamn much, because each part revolutionizes a previous problem that might have arose in the previous part. Though to me, I don't really see that, but at the same time, that's just, I digress. It's one of those things that it makes everything just so much more better, and I kind of feel like every single way to dispatch the enemies makes that even better as well, because it's just so novel the way Jolene actually kind of comes up with these ideas, because he's right. Like, Lang Wrangler's right. She comes up with the ideas so fucking fast. It's just kind of one of those things of like, how does her brain work? Her brain must be like in like 10 light years forward for her to actually be like, I got it. Because she does actually kind of come up with those plans like almost immediately, and it's one of those things that's kind of cool. And also, Weather Report's amazing as well. He's a good boy. He actually sacrificed himself a little bit to actually save her as well. A person he just met as well. But I also like, as we were saying during the stream, that she exemplifies a lot of the Joe-style qualities as well, because, I mean, she's got the intuition of Jotaro. She's also got a little bit of Josuke. She's also got a little bit of Giorno in there as well. She kind of feels like what the ideal Joe style would be in a way, and it's actually kind of nice to actually see that fully realized. Every single character was leading up to like this definitive character, and I feel like Jolene's actually like exemplifying. That's why I kind of love her so much as well. It's because everything she does, it comes from a place of learning about where the previous one might have faltered and actually then improving upon it. And actually, she carves out her own goddamn niche to the point of no return. Actually, just kind of takes over everyone. I love her to bits because she's so amazing at what she does. She doesn't just kind of like, she's not like, well, I could just beat the shit out of him and call it a day. No, she kind of thinks about everything, what she does. Every single thing she does has a reason to why she does it. It's not just dead, essentially. That's why I like it so much as well. So yeah, hopefully today I might be able to do last episode as well. Hoping I can. So do be on the lookout for that one, and then we patiently wait for part 6 to come back. I might play Eyes of Heaven in the meantime, because I actually still haven't finished that game because I just the first time I played, I was like, wow, this is not very good. So I'll have to boot my PS4 at some point and actually play Eyes of Heaven as well, because I do actually kind of want to like definitively experience all of JoJo, because I've done it practically at this point. I just need to experience one more thing. That's probably the only thing I haven't experienced just yet. So until then, as always, actually have indeed been the driver. So as always, actually have enjoyed the stream, and as always, then do leave a like. It does help quite a bit. If you have then enjoyed the entire stream as a whole, and as always, do leave a sub as well. That's helped quite a bit also. If you have then enjoyed the entire stream as a whole, and as always, do leave a follow on Twitter as well. That's helped quite a bit also. Actually, then know when your streams are live and any other streams I do as well. So until next time, episode 12, the final episode of part 1 of part 6. That gets really confusing after a while to say. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.